pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Supervisor Vecchio,
Here?
Councilman McCarthy,
Here.
Councilman Wareheim,
Here.
Councilman Creighton,
Here.
Councilman Malloy.
Here.
Okay, we're going to read 5 resolutions under the Board of Water Commissioners. We're sitting as at the moment, and then we'll go to the public hearing part. Sitting as a Board of Water Commissioners, Mr. McCarthy, will you?
Sure. Sitting as the Board of Water Commissioners, authorize the following award of bid 12-081 Country Woods, transfer from an account. Number 3, 4, transfer $3,240.66. A transfer, part-time salaries. Number 6, receiver of taxes to include a levy for 2012-2013 tax bill for unpaid water charges. And number 7, assignment of contract regarding bid number 110031 as per the printed agenda, all items.
Councilman Malloy. Yes. Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes, we're reconvened as a town board. Public hearing tonight, town board to consider the town of Smithtown preliminary budget for the fiscal year 2013. Mr. Jesse Safer wishes to be heard on the budget. Is he here?
Thank you.
Please use the mic.
Thank you. My name is Jesse Safer, and I am the Democratic Party candidate for the 8th New York State Assembly District.
Mr. Safer, it's proper to address the board in your remarks.
Yes. First of all, I want to thank the board for the opportunity to speak. Looking at the budget, the most important feature that affects the town of Smithtown immediately is the property tax increase. The net increase of $43 is, in my opinion, excessive, and I think we have to look for other ways to meet the revenue needs of Smithtown. And I base this on my experience for 2 years as a property tax hearing officer in Nassau County, during which time I reduced the property taxes of many residents of Nassau County. I think that the main problem that I see is that this does not reflect the realities of the real estate market in Smithtown and what private homes are actually going for when they are sold. When I was a hearing officer, in essence, I was a judge, and the individuals that would come before me would present me with sales of comparable homes throughout the county. And the main thing that I found was that 2008 was really a crash. It was such a substantial depreciation of property values, the likes of which have not been seen in decades. Unfortunately, the assessments do not reflect that change. Our goal is to retain ownership of the homes in Smithtown. Our goal is to attract the young home buyer, the upwardly mobile home buyer, and increasing property taxes, even if there are some reductions, it discourages people from buying homes in the Smithtown area and continues to lower property values there, making it a less attractive choice for people who are shopping for a new home. Now, when I was a hearing officer, this was being done on a case-by-case basis with individuals that had filed grievances. Now, the power of the council, basically, and it's in your hands, should reflect an across-the-board either reduction in what's being assessed at this time, and it should be based on the market values, reflecting the actual sales of homes in the district. To do it on a case-by-case basis, which is what I was doing, took a lot of time, and this
It's to 3 minutes.
yes,
Would you? I'll allow
yes,
you to go on.
Mr. Supervisor Vecchio, yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, you can take another 30 seconds and finish your point.
so basically, I'm opposed to the basis of the increase as it stands at this time, and it forces the property owners to go to a case-by-case grievance method to reduce their property taxes, which in the end will take more time and expense for everybody involved, making Smithtown less competitive in terms of attracting young home buyers. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Keith McDonald. Okay. Mr. Ernie Kraus.
Mr. Supervisor, Town Board, good evening. I have a question. I assume we're talking just about the town taxes, not county police, not library. We just talk about the town taxes, right? So if we have the increase of $42 town tax, now the library gives us another $25 increase in tax. The police department, they're going to give us another, so we're probably talking about $100 additional tax. Is this a fair assumption?
I think you're somewhere in the ballpark on those other budgets, that
Yeah.
the library tax and the fire department and the police tax, yes.
Yeah, so I think $100 extra, that's quite a bit of money.
Yes.
Now, another thing, I read something in the paper. Now, you told me once, don't believe everything you read in the paper. But the story was about the theft of the cardboard, of the $200,000 and
yeah.
what have you, and $100,000 a year. Now, the way I read the story, there was talk about hiring 2 people for $225,000 salary. Now, if they steal $100,000 a year, and we're spending $225 a new salary, this doesn't really add up. I mean, that's a net loss. So I think you're better off let them guys steal the $100,000 worth of paper. But
Pretty good math, yeah.
I mean, then we would be ahead of the game.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, the question is, how come that's been going on for 2 years? Now, if you want to save more money, maybe the person that's supposed to be in charge of this ought to be fired, because somebody must have been sleeping. So that's been going on for 2 years, and the chances are it's been going on much longer than 2 years. Maybe just 2 years it got caught.
Well, let me
I can
explain
see
that.
sorry.
I can explain that. We have a public safety department which does monitor those trucks that haul the waste and the recycling. They discovered that, and they did their immediate work, but it became so involved that they didn't have the resources to continue it, so they referred it to the district attorney, because the amount of paper began to reach the level of a criminal act. And so that's why it took that long to come to those conclusions.
Yeah, because I mean, I think how difficult can it be to take the ticket from the scale up here in Smithtown and compare it to the ticket wherever the stuff gets delivered? I mean, whatever comes out, got to get there. So whoever's in charge apparently was not doing their job. And I think this by itself, this one item could save a lot of money, and I'm sure there's a few other little things that could be looked at more careful, and maybe can save a few more dollars. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ernie. Thank you. I think that concludes all speakers. Okay, yes, sir, what's your name? Come up, we'll write it down here. Oh, I got it.
I didn't know what Gene.
Okay, Mr. Story.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Michael Story. I live in Smithtown on actually Hop Hog, 11 Lenore Lane. I've spoken many times here before. The last time I spoke here, you were at your budget meeting, and you said that I was approved for a generator. What's the status of that?
Fortunately, that expenditure was not made, but it's certainly included in this year's capital budget for 2 generators, one Adrian Lane and one up in, I think where the other location is.
Well, I'm very naive to how this process works, but how is it was approved for the budget and then not
Well,
implemented?
it wasn't approved, it was placed as a capital item, which is not the discussion here tonight. The capital item, the money was never borrowed for that, and some other $2 or $3 million additional capital projects. However, this year the board will consider those capital projects.
So again, when can I expect this to be implemented and put in place?
Well, the borrowing it's an approval by the town board to borrow a certain amount of money, and I trust that might be in this borrowing.
Okay, 'cause I kind of thought this was resolved last year, and now a
Yeah.
year later, I'm starting all over again. The other thing is that the same pump station, same problem, there's 2 pumps in that station. Well, we had a major storm come through, and guess what? Both pumps were out for service. It has to be redundant. There needs to be 3 pumps, so that at least one's a backup, one's operational, and one who knows. We can't keep going back and forth on, well, it's going to work, it might going to work, we're going to try this, we're going to try that. I can't keep getting my house flooded. Somebody's got to pay for my damages. Number one. I'll leave you to your best. You guys can work on that. The second issue is, and I probably shouldn't even bring this up, but I'm kind of tired of seeing it. You have all these garbage restrictions. You can't put stuff out. It has to be done by the rules. You got to do this, you got to do that. And I 100% approve of that. I'm very environmental, I'm very green. Well, I had a very big issue with paint. I did everything you guys asked 3 different times. I took the old paint, I put the chemicals in, I spun it, I tried to dehydrate it. It took like a month for the garbage guys to actually take it. We can't take it, the town doesn't allow it. I said, this is what they asked me to do. Yet anybody that's doing construction on their house can pay the garbage guys off, and they'll take anything that's put outside there. And I've seen it on many, not only in Smithtown, I've seen it all over Long Island. It needs to be addressed.
What kind of paint did you have that you...
Latex.
Say that?
Latex paint.
Well, our environmental department recommends that it be left to dry out,
I did that.
and then you put it in with your garbage.
I was originally told that it had to be separated from my garbage.
Not true.
So I did separate it, and the garbage man said he can't take it.
Not true.
Then I finally was told, but I was told wrong initially.
That's the directions of our environmental people.
Okay.
If you have
But
other
my
ki-
paint wasn't the concern.
If you have other kinds of paint that might have what's the other kind of? Oil-based.
Oil-based, I wouldn't even have
Well,
thought of it.
then we have 2 stop programs a year, which you can bring it to there.
I agree.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Story. Anyone else to be heard on the budget? If not, I'll move to close the hearing.
Second.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Wareham?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Malloy?
Yes.
On the correspondence, Building Department report, September 2012. Item number 2, parade, run, walk, Nesconset Chamber of Commerce, first reading. Advertise for public hearing. Item number 1, the town board to authorize the town clerk to advertise for public hearing to be held at the Eugene Canataro Senior Citizen Center, Middle Country Road, Smithtown, New York, Thursday, November 29, 2012, at 7 p.m. to consider year 39, the 2013 Community Development Program, and to disseminate such public notice to the interested community groups.
Councilman Malloy?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareham?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Under resolution, the town board to authorize the town clerk to advertise for the following bids to be returned to town hall at 11 a.m. on the dates indicated. Items 1, A, B, and C. Bid number 12084, processing of recycled yard waste, November 15, 2012. Tree pruning, November 15, 2012, and utility tractor, November 15, 2012.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Number 2, the town board to award the following bids and authorize the purchase of the associated goods and services as per 2A, the printed agenda, bid number 12-074 for road and landscape supplies as per the printed agenda.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Item number 3, the town board to award the following request for proposals per opening date as indicated. A RFP number 12-073 for third-party claims management service to Rockville Risk Management Associates as per proposal received on September 6, 2012, and further authorize supervisor to sign an agreement on form approved by the town attorney.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Number 4, the town board after due study and deliberation of subject record to issue secret negative declaration determination of non-significance in the following matters as before. A, tree preservation and land clearing permit by 119 West Main Street LLC dated October 19, 2012.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Item number 5, the town board to approve the following as per A through O of the printed agenda. Town clerk to issue parade run walk permit, Mount Pleasant School. Town clerk to issue a parade run walk permit, Friends and Students of 60,000 Inc. Town attorney or appropriate official to enter in stipulation of settlement for various tax years. Deputy Chief Fire Marshal Andrew Brofman and Public Safety to attend an annual fire investigation recertification course. F, Richard Kitt, Environmental Analyst, Asbestos Refresher Course. G, Richard Kitt, Environmental Analyst, and others to attend hazardous material courses. H, attached proposal from Warren LFG LLC to provide landfill gas monitoring. I, Superintendent of Highways to enter into an amendment to agreement to pavement services. J, School Age Child Care Training Conference. K, adoption of Chapter 101, the Town Code Department of Parks as relates to commercial activities in the town. Receiver taxes to include levy of 2012-13 tax bills for unpaid solid waste fees. M, town attorney or appropriate official to enter into stipulation of settlement or agreement to enter in order for regard to various tax certiorari matters. N, town board to find that the public interest will not suffer a significant adverse impact due to tree preservation and land clearing by application 119 West Main Street LLC. And O, payment of Bi-County Auto Body in the amount of $4,359.77 for repairs.
And you missed the minutes approval of September 20th, 2012.
Okay.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Item number 6, the town board to authorize the controller to execute the following as per 6A through Q. 1 increase and the balance are all transfer of revenue codes.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Item number 7, the town board to authorize the supervisor to execute the following in a form approved by the town attorney as per 7A through C, specialized agreement. B, agreement with the town of Huntington to continued share use of the Huntington Resource Recovery Facility. And C, intermunicipal agreement with the towns of Brookhaven, Babylon, and Huntington regarding the transportation and disposal of waste to energy facility combustion as per the printed agenda.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Item number 8, the town board to approve the settlement in the following per matters per the recommendation of the town attorney as per 8A, B, and C settlements of $731.67, $2,559.03, and $350 as per the printed agenda.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Item number 9, the town board to authorize the acceptance of the following as per 9A, B, and C. Dedication of public improvements. B, irrevocable standby letter of credit, and C, irrevocable letter of credit.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Warehime.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Item number 10, the town board to authorize the release of the following as per 10A and B, cashier's check and Bank of Smithtown irrevocable letter of credit.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Warehime.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Under personnel, item 11, A through G, acceptance of volunteer services, part-time appointment, accept volunteer services, part-time appointments, part-time appointment, accept volunteer service, and part-time appointments as to A through G of number 11 of the printed agenda.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Warehime.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Item number 12, the town board to authorize the following amendments to the Uniform Traffic Code and to authorize the Traffic Safety Department to install and maintain necessary signs as per 12A, J, parking, standing, and stopping.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Warehime.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Town board sitting is the Board of Site Plan Review to consider the following. Number 1, PJ Venture Restaurant, southeast corner of Henry Street and Crooked Hill Road, Comac.
You need to take a vote on that, Mr. Clerk.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Warehime.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Item number 2 for the Board of Site Plan Review, 779 Middle Country Road, northeast corner Middle Country Road, Hobson Street.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Warehime.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes. That concludes the agenda. I'll move to close the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Super-
Would you
Okay.
pass those down?
He said-